Hello, this is Ankit and I work as a real estate advisor here in Dubai with Experience Realty. In this video, I'm going to speak about the differences between investing in a ready property versus an off-plan property here in Dubai. For any buyer, there are two cases to buy a property. Either it is for the self-use or for just as an investment. Let us first take the case if you are an end user of the property. In case of ready properties, you can get the immediate move-in, while in an off-plan property, you have to wait for a few years, which could be like about 2 to 4 years. And in the case of a ready property, you can tangibly see the property, touch and feel how it is. While in the case of off-plan properties, you have to rely on the brochures, renders and show units if the developer has made them. And second case is if you are buying only for the investment, for appreciation and rental returns. In the case of a ready property, you can start immediately getting rental income and you don't have to wait. While in the case of off-plan properties, you have to wait for a few years to start earning the rental income. In case of the ready property, there is no risk of the property being not delivered, while in the case of off-plan property, there could be some risk of no handover of the property. Now here it simply looks like that the ready property has more advantages over buying an off-plan property. But is it really the case? If you closely look at the Dubai market, a lot of investors and end users are buying off-plan properties. A lot more than any other city in the world. Now why so? There must be some reasons why buyers are choosing to buy off-plan rather than a ready property. Let us deep dive in this video and find out what are those reasons. As per the data from last year from the Dubai Land Department, 2/3 of the total value of transactions came from the off-plan property sale, while 1/3 came from the ready property sales. Clearly, off-plan properties were sold 2 times the value of the ready properties in 2023. We also need to account the fact that Dubai is a growing city, with the developers focusing on expanding their project portfolio as well as a lot of new developers entering the market. In Dubai's market, almost every developer will start the sale of the units before the construction begins. Whereas in other markets, we have seen that developers take external financing to finish the projects first and then they start the sale of the units. Here are the top reasons for buyers to choose off-plan properties. Number 1, leveraging the interest-free payment plan. The off-plan properties offer a payment plan by the developer which can be utilized by the buyer to pay for the property for a period of about 4 years or even more. These payment plans for an under construction property is a very Dubai market concept and is not really popular in other mature markets such as the Americas and Europe, where transactions are heavily dependent on bank mortgage financing. Although through bank mortgage, you can get a longer tenure to pay, but generally given the recent hikes in interest rates globally, the buyer is paying about 5 to 6% interest on the property. And most of this interest is compounded annually or is at a variable rate. Calculations have shown that even if the mortgage is fully paid up and closed prematurely in 7 years, the buyer ends up paying almost 40% more for the property due to the interest. Like, for example, if the buyer bought a property for 1 million, technically it comes out to be bought for 1.4 million. The second reason is that the appreciation and rental returns are higher. In the Dubai market, trends show that the property achieves its highest price at the time of the handover in a growing market. Hence, investing in an off-plan property proves to be providing a much higher appreciation than an already delivered property. You can use the leverage effect with a payment plan to make attractive gains in a growing market. Let's say if the off-plan property was of 1 million, and you as a buyer had only given 20% down payment, that is 200,000 so far. And if the property price rises to 1,050,000, 1.05 in a few months, the buyer has made a gain of 50,000 on the 200,000 money he invested, making a 25% gain. Even if the buyers have concerns on the future of the market, in the worst cases, whatever will affect the off-plan market price will also affect the secondary market price for the ready properties. Moreover, off-plan properties make a better case for reselling before the handover, wherein the investor has just paid a part of the payment plan and makes the returns only on the equity he had put, and the developer simply allows change of ownership. Even for the new buyer who is coming to buy the off-plan resale property, he might be buying it at around 15 to 20% above original price, but he is still buying at the market price, and he is just covering the cost of money. Maybe he would have saved some money in those 1-3 years post the time of the launch to cover that cost of money. Talking about rental returns, although an investor starts earning immediately in the case of the ready property, if we look at the figures, the net ROI is about 6 to 7% and about 4 to 5% in a premium area in Dubai. While if the buyer had chosen the right off-plan property and waited for a few years, he would have made 12 to 15% net rental return in that off-plan property, mainly because the property has appreciated in value by the time of handover. Let me give an example of a project in Dubai Hills Estate by Emaar. The Collective. Investors who bought a 2-bed apartment in The Collective at the time of the launch price of about 1 million dirhams have seen an appreciation in their property to 1.6 million dirhams. The ongoing rents for that project is about 130,000 dirhams for a year. If we calculate the ROI on the original purchase price, the investors are making about 12% net ROI on the property now. Okay, I will say that not all the off-plan projects will be making such double-digit rental returns, but if an investor knows well how to allocate his funds into different vehicles, he can eventually make better returns rather than going with the lure of making immediate rental returns from a ready property. A smart investor can leverage the payment plan rather than putting the full price of the property. He can use the surplus money into his own business and make more returns than what he could have made from the rental income returns. Let's say if he can make 25 to 30% returns in his business, he can put the profits back into the payment plan for the off-plan property. So in this case, the immediate rental returns are nullified by the business or another sort of investment returns. The third reason is that the off-plan properties gives the opportunity to tap into a growing market. Investors who have made the investment in any of the first projects of a new community from a reputed developer, like let's say in the case of Emaar in Emaar Beachfront or Dubai Hills Estate, at the time when the community was not even established, those investors made the maximum capital appreciation by placing their bet on the off-plan properties with a trusted brand like Emaar. While other investors who bought the ready properties in those communities, after seeing and experiencing the project, they couldn't achieve that level of appreciation, so therefore the cost of seeing is high. And the fourth reason is that with off-plan properties, you are buying into a new, modern design and build. Although you can see and feel a ready property before buying, the design and build could be old if the property was delivered some time back. With the Dubai's construction, design and architecture industry being so dynamic, the new trends shift very quickly over the years. With investing into an off-plan property, you are assured that the design and build quality will be new, modern, and fresh at the time of the handover. Moreover, when a buyer is buying off-plan, he has access to all the inventory in a project to choose from, which might not be the case when a buyer is looking for a property in a ready project in the secondary market. So these were the top 4 reasons why buyers are choosing off-plan properties over ready properties. But in case you are looking into the market and you want to consult me whether an off-plan property or a ready property suits you, because it may depend on your personal requirement as well as your way of financing the purchase. So my number is on the screen. Please send me a WhatsApp and we can connect one-on-one and discuss which will be the best strategy for you. This is Ankit from Experience Realty. Experience the experience.